My colleague Greg Kelly, host of Greg Kelly Reports, joins me now. He was there that day. Many personal ties to 9/11. Greg, thanks so much for being with me today as we, look at the current leadership. We're dissecting where we are. Kind of still stunned from last night's debate and how terrible those moderators were. Your thoughts and your takeaways today for, those people and the families. Every year we say never forget, but sometimes the further away we get, I'm just so worried about our nation and that they are forgetting.
I share your concern, your worry. We are a broken country in so many ways. After 9/11, it was a scandal. A total scandal that these 19 hijackers were able to get into the country, and they all came in through airport checkpoints, through customs. And the sense was, how did the system not catch them, not flag them? And now we have an open border, and we have potentially 19 terrorists coming in every second. It's like we've learned nothing. We've actually gone backwards. I remember after 9/11, the 9/11 report, the 9/11 Commission, and Governor Tom Kaine, I believe, was the co-chair, and Lee Hamilton, a former member of Congress. And one of the main conclusions was it was a failure of imagination. It was a failure of the government to imagine and do what it has to do, think about the unthinkable.
Yeah.
Just last month, the acting Secret Service director, Ronald Rao, blamed the assassination attempt on President Trump on a failure of imagination. We are learning nothing. We are going backwards. We have become stupid as a country. And last night was tough to watch, tough to deal with, tough to process. I have processed it, and I do believe and can make the case, and I think it's an absolute that Donald Trump won that debate. He won it. He won it on substance, and he won it on style. Now, in our corrupt, broken world, well, Kamala Harris baited him successfully. Well, there's a part of a debate. If you look up the definition of debate, one of the key components of it is rebuttal.
Yeah.
You rebut what your opponent says. He rebutted her authoritatively, with knowledge, with skill, on the substance, the important substance, and on the crowd size. And he's right.
I think the love for the country he has is just so always on display, and the fact their disdain for our country is also so evident. And I guess that was lost in part of the conversation last night, because you don't have a country without borders, and the fact that they're so careless. And the eve of 9/11, she's standing there and saying, well, he's not going to talk about the border even when we're not asked about it. Yeah, we are, because we're a nation of laws, we're a nation of order, we're a nation where we put our security first, or at least we did at one point. And 23 years ago, we saw when it could fail and what perils we face. Your final thoughts? I mean, tonight, I know you probably have a very big show planned to talk about this, but the nation moving forward, there are 55 days, and there's a lot of hope for this country that we still have an opportunity to regain it and get back to our glory, Greg.
Amen. There is a lot of hope. And one of the things, look, a debate, I know how I feel, and I have an opinion-driven show, and I am for Trump. I like the substance, and I like the style. There are independents out there who have not made up their mind. And everything that Kamala Harris talked about, they've heard before. From the January 6th sick exaggerations. At one point, she said it was the worst thing that happened to the democracy since the Civil War. Saying that on the eve of 9/11, to the Charlottesville hoax, all that stuff, and her totally nonspecific policy solutions. That had an impact, I'm seeing, on independents. They are ready to be moved, and the arguments they've heard are not really arguments. They're labels, it's fake news, Charlottesville, bloodbath, all of that stuff. So there's a lot of hope, actually, probably more this morning than there was the night before the debate. Donald Trump did very, very well.
Well, if we were asking the questions, it would have been a different debate for sure for America, but at least we were able to share a little bit of screen time today, my friend. Greg Kelly will watch you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Bianca, very much.